Hello there. It's August 5th, 52 degrees out this morning. It's going to rain today. We had that half-inch rain down here on the Dillon plot, and I showed you the other day how it held the moisture. Dried out a little bit now, but now it's mellow, so I'm going to disc it up. And I got my happy shirt on because it looks like we're going to get some more moisture today and possibly tomorrow. So I better get the discing. This dirt right now you can't plant in, that's obvious. You're going to have to till it up some more. It's been turned over, it's been rained on, and that rain on, it really mellowed those clods out, so they'll break up better. So, but the better preparation you do in your seed bed, that's your first step to success, or your first step to failure if you don't do it a thorough job of seed bed preparation. Alright, I'd like to openly admit right off the bat, I did something I say I don't never, yet you shouldn't do. I shut the machine off in the bush. Hopefully it'll fire up when I get this video made. Okay, you're going to need some essentials. First of all, unless you got, some people got apps, GPSs on their phone, smartphone, whatever. I don't. I use a measuring wheel, width times length. This field was 97 feet wide and 201 feet long. Basically, I'm going to call that 20,000 square feet. As Joe up in upstate New York stated on one of his videos, 44,000 square feet in an acre. Actually, there's 43,560. But for all layman's and practicality, you might as well round it up to 44, because that'll give you 22,000 square feet for a half acre, 11,000 square feet for a quarter acre. And then if you went down to an eighth of an acre, it'd just be half of 11,000, which is, I think, I don't know, 6,500 feet. Okay, now here is a subject worth noting. Last year, we went with this bag of winter greens. And on this winter greens, it stated that it's 3 pounds, 3-pound bag, plants 1/2 acre. 3 pounds. Okay. This year, we're going with Pure Attraction. And what you say on the bottom of the bag? Plants up to 1/2 acre. Now, as you can see, this is a 26-pound bag. This is a 3-pound bag. There's quite a bit of difference in amount of seed. Almost 4 times as amount of this seed than that. At the top of this bag, it reads, "Research equals results." That's Whitetail Institute. They research this stuff out. They know what will cover a half acre, an acre. Today, unfortunately, a lot of people are going out on their own and buying different brands of just generic seed, mixing it together, and I'll tell you something. That's not a good deal, because I'll show you in reality. Let me find that if I got it. In this bag, say you had 2 blends, which actually you have 3. That would be 2 $5 bills. So you'd have $10. Some people are under the assumption, you know, everything's more horsepower, more sex, more debt, more just more everything. So they figure if they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces of paper in their pocket, they got a better chance because I only got 2 pieces of paper in my pocket, which actually is the same. Now the reason these 2 pieces of paper are in my pocket is because these 2 pieces won't take up as much space. If you have 10 subjects or 10 people in a room, they're going to take up a lot more space than 2 that, you know, have the same equivalent. Okay, with that said, what happens in your food plots, if you start putting all those different so-called blends that you're conjuring up, you have some seed working against the other seed. Because as Whitetail Institute called on a soil test, I need 200 pounds of, well, 400 pounds. If I was going to go with an acre, I would need 400 pounds. They call for 1717, but Iowa sells 1313, triple 13. So therefore, if you've got a whole different genetic blend of seed in there, it might require more fertilizer, it might require less fertilizer. But what you end up with, in a lot of cases, is a stunted crop and low tonnage. Because it's just like the inner city. You've got all these people bidding for the same water, all these people bidding for the same seat on the bus, all these people bidding for the same sidewalk space. There's not enough room. Your seed is under stress, therefore it won't produce the tonnage. Just the way it happens in the big cities. They got all that friction, a lot of tension, turmoil. So what you want to do is go with the manufacturer's blend. Like I said on that package, research equals results. And don't think because you got 10 pieces of paper in this pocket and 2 in this pocket, that this pocket over here is richer than this, because it ain't so. Because if you get a better germination out of 2 or 3 blends that were engineered through research, you're far greater off than doing a home blend potion, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You don't even know what kind of reaction that's going to have in the field to each other. That's one thing about Whitetail Institute. If I'm going to do all this work, I'm going to go with a company that's done the research. That way, as you can see in droughts or whatever, you're always at nature's will, whether it's going to be good or bad. So why cut yourself short on the front end by going with a cheaper generic seed and mixing it your own? So I got to get this fertilizer. Like I say, I got to put 200 pounds of fertilizer on this, and this 26 pounds of pure traction will take the place of this 3-pound bag of wintergreens that went on here last year. And the reason I'm doing that is to rotate the crop. I know the history on both of these products. They're both good products. They both produce a lot of tonnage, and so we'll run with it. But just remember, just because you got more different blends doesn't mean you're going to have a better food plot. Well, let's get to putting the fertilizer in. You heard enough fertilizer out of my mouth now, so let's get going. Yeah, let's see if this machine will start. I'd like to, you know, you talk about real time. If it didn't start, that'd be real time. All right. Well, everything's pretty good now. But just remember, when you are in the bush, don't shut your machines off. Because if they die, you're going to have a hard time getting a technician in there or your truck in there. Let them run until you get back out to where you can service them. Let's get it done. Yeah, I like using a respirator when I put that dry chemical on. Bad enough I don't have no long pants on, but I don't like breathing that. I've inhaled that before and it really make your head swirl. Okay, the next step we got to incorporate that fertilizer lightly into the soil. You can't leave it on top. We're going to just put it in ½ inch, an inch, whatever, but no deeper than that. Remember last year when I told you to take the tree stumps out? That's why. If you tree stumps in, all it's going to do is hinder your production and your time spent in the field. You ain't got time to be hitting tree stumps every time you move 10 feet. Get them out of there on the initial ground breaking and it'll save you a lot of headache and a lot of time. So we got one more step. We got to walk the seed on and then call it back down. Now, like I said, last year it took 3 pounds to cover this. This year they say 26 pounds. Seed's a whole lot bigger. Okay, but make sure you go down the length and go the width. That way you'll know you'll have adequate seed to get the whole field covered. If you think you got 26 pounds, start putting it on heavy, you're going to run out. So you still got to use the same discretion of putting on, make sure you cover the field one time, and come back again and try to get it covered twice from both directions. Okay, that field's sprinkled, so we got to go across the field the other way now. Okay, it's starting to sprinkle. All we're going to do now is color pack it in. That's the final step. So that shouldn't take long. Well, there you go. The last thing we're going to do, I'm going to drive a stake out there in the, on this field right here, so with the rain gauge on it, so we'll know exactly how much rain gets in the field. Raining. Now we'll know how much rain actually gets in the field during this duration of this, with that gauge right there on the field. So let's get out of here. Okay, it's August 7th. We had rain 40 miles away up in Norwalk, rained pretty good. That tells the story about the rain down here on the 7th day of August. Came a long way, baby, from the other day. But with that said, we've got to get this flattened out and still do some more tillage, because we want this as fine as we can. And this right now would be way too rough for your winter greens or a small seed of that nature. You can see I've got that dirt tilled up now. That's the kind of surface you want for your small grain. You don't want heavy clods, and you've seen us bring it from hard pan to medium clods. Now we're down to the fine clods with sprinkles. Well, isn't that an expenditure on an annual? another thing over perennial, you don't have to have as much fertilizer. Soil test called in the back. I was a little low in the way back field, so I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to put about 300 pounds back there. Out in front, it was really good. The phosphorus and potassium were really high. That was because of the fertilizer we put on this spring. So I saved a little money right now, but I'll come back and add some nitrogen once it gets about 3 to 4 inches tall. So if you think food plots doing them the right way is cheap, you're fooling yourself. Because you buy the seed, buy the right amount of fertilizer, and the fuel and the time spent, you're going to have a considerable amount of investment in it. And that's why I try to go with the best brand out there. And because it's still a gamble. We don't even know if it's going to rain. But you've got to you ain't going to grow anything if it's in the back of the van. So I got some dry dirt, I've got it broke up. It's time to get the seed in the ground. It's the 7th of August, and then nature's going to take its course. It's either going to rain or it ain't going to rain. Right there shows you why it's important to do a soil test, have your measuring wheel, know how many pounds you got to put on per acre. This whole area back here is just a tad under an acre. So we went with about 300, a good 300 pounds. But you got to go fast because you want to get it on. You know, you can put about it in the bag, 50-pound bag, 6 bags in there, you got to rock and roll. So get it in the gear, get it on. Now we got to come back and incorporate it into the soil. We don't want to put the fertilizer on at the same height as the seed. I would normally do that when I'm running the land leveler or the pulverizer on, but the ground was so difficult to work this year that I foregoed that. Now I've got to come back and incorporate the fertilizer into the soil. Like I said, that goes pretty fast. Now we'll go walk the seed on. Well, what you see in the background that's soil preparation. That's the whole key to fall food plots. Takes some time to do that. I'm going to go in there with this new product from Whitetail Institute, beets and greens, and I want to give it the best chance I can. I fertilized it. I got perfect dirt. I'm a little late on the planting window. It called from July 15th to September, what would that have been? To September 1st. So, but it was way too dry, so it wouldn't have grown anyway. But anyhow, we're going to get this seeded. But like I said, when you look out across that field, it's trash free, except for you're looking at this trash in some people's mind. Other than that, you don't have a bunch of clumps of grass, uneven. Strive to do your best. Slow down, take a little longer. Well, we'll wrap it up. We'll set the seed now with the compactor. That's the last step. And we'll have 2017 fall food plots for better or for worse. Does it mean I'm going to kill a deer? Have any better chances? Not really. Young man can go out and kill a deer anytime they go out to a tree stand. New world record can be shot. Matter of fact, state record gun kill. Wayne Bill, basically what it was. First time he ever went hunting, they put him out of the way. He kills the biggest deer in the state of Iowa. 200 and some inch typical deer. So all I'm doing is creating a better habitat for the wildlife and whole here in Clark County. Somebody else is probably going to kill them, I can't control that. But what's in my fence line, I can control. So as I get on the power tractor and roll this in, just keep that in mind. Giving back ain't all that bad.